Hey, you guys.
Hi, everyone.
So I don't know. Mare may jump in and join us in a little bit. I'm not sure. Oh, there she is. She's going to be in chat.
Hey, Mayor.
She's not there yet. I don't know. She might be out there. She hasn't typed in yet. But anywho. So I'm not going to dawdle too much. I am going to stand up, though, so I can reach and be in the right part of the table. Hey, Shelly.
Hey, Shelly, Leah.
Hey,
John,
Wendy. Hey, Debbie.
Wendy, and Debbie. Did I miss anybody?
I don't think so. Wendy Keller, I think you might be new to us. Welcome.
Leah.
Yep, Leah's there. John is there.
Oh,
Janine
another
is
Wendy.
there. Yep,
Sandy. Hi,
are.
Sandy.
Oh, here they come. There's Diane.
They all come in at once.
They do, right? Like everybody's hopping in. So this is, I forgot to message. Does anybody have, well, it'll be up there. She can rewatch, I guess. I was going to say, I forgot to message Lisa J because she really wanted to see it too. So you guys really wanted to see how to do this binding. So I was just going to do that for you guys tonight. It's called the French link, if you guys want to look it up. So obviously I'm going to run through what the things that you will probably want to have. None of this is required except for the paper and the thread and the needle. After that, you kind of can figure it out. But so here's the papers. I just have mine already folded into signatures. I've done them all different sorts of ways. So most of the time I just do them as one folio. So I wouldn't stitch this as a signature. I would stitch it as 3 folios, right? But I like, most of the time I like them to actually look as much like a book as possible. So I don't want these great big fat signatures because that's just not the look I'm going for. So the fewer folios, not pages, folios. So the fewer folios you put into your signature, the closer they're all going to sit when you get them bound, right? So they'll sit more like how the book actually sits. So it'll be more like this. Where is it? There we go. It'll be more like that when it's bound. So that's just the look I like. There's no right or wrong way. You could do super fat signatures if you wanted to. It would just have a different look. So, hey, Cheryl. So let me see where to start. I'm going to be using the book cradle or the punching cradle. I guess it's actually a punching cradle. You don't have to have this though at all. I've only had this for a couple of months. So for years, I have not had this. So previously I used a book and I used, you guys don't laugh, I don't even have an official awl until I got this one that came with the cradle. I use old ice picks. Like,
oh, that's almost like an awl, right?
Almost, yep. But I find them all the time and they fit my hands really. I have big hands, so they fit my hands really well. This one's kind of a pain, but it does fit, like, especially for anywho, off topic. But yeah, if you don't have an awl, don't go, just use an ice pick. Use whatever you have. These pokey tools, these work really well, except for mine. I bent the tip on mine so it doesn't poke anymore. But yeah, you can use anything that has a sharp end on it. If you're only doing a single page, right? If you're using one sheet, and this is what you're going to use for your folio or your folio / signature, and you're just going to stack up singles, you can poke the holes with a needle. So you do not have to have fancy equipment to bind books for any of the stitched methods if you choose not to. These are what I used to use, and I still do sometimes. I have a lot of templates because I would take the signature and settle it down in there, right? And then set this on the top of it. And if you mark where your top is and always pick, like these have these numbers on them. So I've been using where the larger number is as my top. So I would line the top of this up with the top of the paper, right? And set it in here and then poke the holes. So that is what I would do. And I have these for all different heights of books, all different, like this is the 5 hole. This is a 5 hole for a slightly shorter book. And I just hang on to them so that I can use them. This is a 3 hole. And I've had these for a couple of years and still use them all. And then I have some like this that I use for like when I'm doing like if I want to stitch right through the spine, then I can just lay this in there and just punch all my holes and stitch.
That's cool.
Thanks. But there'll be one of these that correlates to this so that I could punch the signatures to match up my width. But yeah, I've got just see like tons of them. And then there's my, if I want, and I just make them up ahead of time. So then I just come in and I would punch here at the cross where it crosses over the score line right there. And then it matches up to my lines. So
Nice.
yeah, all of those are ready to go. So yeah, that's right, Lucy. Hey, Beverly. Yeah.
Hi,
So,
Jody, Beverly, Lucy.
hey, Lori. Hey, Lou.
Max.
Nice. Hey, Jody. Thanks, you guys.
Jody.
Okay, so there's that. So you do not have to have the cradle, right? I don't have a paper one for this French spine. I thought I did. The key to this French link and being successful, you have to have an even number of holes. So I've been working with 10, but I like 10 because it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Of the sections that you can see.
That looks so cool.
It is so cool. And you guys are just going to be like, I can't believe I've never done this. It's so easy. It is so easy once you get past thinking that it's hard. And then inside the folio or signature, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the stitches on the inside. Okay. So I'm doing some that don't have holes. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to punch a whole set so that you guys can see. I'm not going to do it in the book, but if this were paper, I would just line this up with the top. Well, actually, maybe I should just do one. Why not? We're just going to pretend this is paper, okay? Because I don't have a paper template punched. So just line this up. And I'm skipping this first one so that I've already done the math, I guess. So I just skip that first hole and do this one. And then I just every other one all the way down. And you don't have to push like you're trying to go through the book. You're just going through a few pieces of paper. So it just doesn't take lots of effort. So there's our holes, right? And then there they are on the outside. Super easy to get through. So it works just as well. It's almost easier in the book, to tell you the truth. I might even go back to it. The only advantage, super advantage, is you can snug everything up to this stop right there. So it is super, super consistent. But this, it's really easy to push too hard and you go down too far and then you can't get the thing back out. So there is a slight like getting acquainted with it thing. But see, like you can't see any significant difference between one or the other as far as method of doing it, I think. It's not a tutorial. That's right, Leah. You're in charge of reminding everybody tonight, not a tutorial.
Congrats to your nephew, Jody. He graduated today.
Oh, nice. Very nice. I wasn't going to do the whole process. And then it was like, I really am, because these they're so easy to do. And I wanted you guys
It looks so hard, though.
It is
when
not.
You're looking at it.
I know. It does look like it should be fancy and complicated, but it's
right.
just
Complicated.
So
That's what I was trying to think of.
It's just so not. But I just decided I was just going to go through the whole process, start to finish, so that you guys could get a sense in real time. I'll look up at chat as soon as I get all these punched.
I'm watching it too.
Okay.
Where's Becca? We aren't learning anything.
This is it's not real heavy. It's not real heavy. And I'm using, oh my word.
Does she hear you?
She does hear me. She sounds like a gargoyle down there. Good grief. I'm sorry, you guys.
It's not Mare, it's Maggie.
Yeah, it's Maggie. Mare's had a long day. She's taken a rest. She might join us in chat. But there's 8.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it's just not time consuming at all. And like, it doesn't matter how these go back together, because they're all going to be perfectly lined up as long as I keep my tops together. But see how they just line right up.
Wow.
And then I don't usually measure. I usually can't be bothered. And of course, now I have a knot in the thread. One moment, please. I have 2 knots in this thread, for the love of Pete.
You hear one kidlet, Sandy. She says, I love hearing the kidlets.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just one. Oh my gosh, she's a mess today. If I knew for sure, I might just cut that fuzzy part off. I think I am, because I don't have the patience. I am not the one that will sit and fiddle with taking a knot out of something for 5 minutes. I will just put it down and move along, or throw it away and start over. I don't know if I think we're just going to take that out. I feel like that's a knot right there. Okay. So usually what I do, if I measure, I go however many times, right? So 8 times, because there's 8 of these signatures. So I would measure out, like this 8 times. And then I do like 1.5 to 2 extras. It just depends. But this is about what I wind up with left over when I'm done. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I when I go to sew mine in, I'm left with a lot. I have a lot left over too, and I don't realize it. I don't care though, but
right. I think it depends on what you're using. If I was
Yeah.
using super fancy silk threads or something, that would be different. Because that stuff is harder to find, especially if it was vintage and like all that sort of thing. So, in general, gotcha.
The wax threads.
Yeah, this is and this is another reason why I'm not as frugal with it as I should be, right? I found this is that faux sinew in the leather department at Hobby Lobby, and I split it into 3 or 4 sections. For these, I'm using 3 because I split this into well, 2 or 3, because I'm using 3 sheets to make the folios, right? So I've got like 3 folios per signature. So I want a little bit bulkier thread to bulk it up a little at the spine when it all gets put together, so that you have room to fill the pages so it doesn't gator like as soon as you put something in there. But this stuff is super, super sticky, super waxy. So yeah, but I like stitching with it. It does work really well.
Shelley wants to know how long are the signatures you started with?
So these you mean? So these Shelley, don't get hung up on the details. Just telling you, don't do it. Use whatever you have. So these measure 6 5/8 by 8 1/2. And then I just folded them in half, right? So they're 8 1/2 tall, and then like 3 1/4 ish. Well, I was close, 3 1/8, 3 3/8 wide. But I want to use them to do, hey, Mare, the added in pages, right? I want to add more width to them, or you can use them just as is, whatever. So the other thing you may want is a binder clip. This makes life so much easier, especially because if you watch people who do bookbinding for a living, they do not do this like I do. But they're going for a professional, high quality end product, right? I want quality and I want it to look semi-professional, but I still want it to be handmade. And I'm not going for perfection here. There's a look that I'm going for, and I want what I want, right? So I'll show you the difference. They would have everything laying down. Do I have anything? Okay, so like pretend this book, and a book would be a good one if you don't have a countertop or something to do this. If holding it doesn't work for you, try this. But they would use this book like a table, right? And have the folded edge sticking off just a little bit, like somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. And then they hold everything down there and they lift up to stitch. It's just easier for me to hold all of this in my hand. But everything that you'll see me, yeah, you bossy, everything that you see me doing, hanging on to in my hand, you can totally lay it down and just hold this edge away from the fold, right? And you can do all the things that way. And don't be afraid to turn it if that makes it easier for you. Okay. I need to mute for 1 second.
Okay. So anybody else crafting, or are you just watching Patty?
Banker's clips. Yeah, probably, Lucy, probably. So anyway, you always want to go in from the outside. I always start at the bottom. I don't think it makes a difference. It's just what works best for me. And you're just going to stitch in and out all the way up. Pretty sure everybody can do that.
There's Becca.
Hey, Becca.
Driving home from a long Amish drive. I'll be listening.
You got it, Missy. And I usually go about halfway and then pull it all through. And I leave myself, I'm going to put it up here so you guys can see it, like somewhere between 2.5 inches of a tail down there. You only need to use this once, so you don't need like gobs and gobs. But then just come back. Keep doing your running stitch. And you always want to pull the same direction that you're stitching, because if you pull the opposite way of what you're stitching, that's when you're going to start tearing your paper where the holes are punched. As long as you pull the same way you're stitching, it'll just follow right through.
Hey, Lori H.
Hey, Lori. So here's where the clip comes in. So I just want to line everything up, right? So that one is sitting directly over top of the other. And then I come in and use, and anybody that knows how to do this, if you guys have tips, put them in the chat. This is not a Patty tutorial. This is, let's just do a thing together. So I just kind of hold it like this. And then I'm going to go, you always want it, every time you're stitching, you're going from the outside to the inside every single time. And this is where you start joining. And for me, it's easier if I pull my thread all the way taut. Every time I go from the inside to the outside, you'll see me pull it taut until I get, I don't know, halfway or so. Every once in a while, you'll see I'll skip one. And it's just, I don't know, it just feels, I just do it. I don't know why. But then just always pull the same direction that you're stitching, right? So it's on the outside. Here's the stitch from the running stitch, right? So you want to go under it. You just want to go under, just kind of pick it up a little bit. I'm trying to get it where it'll, there it is. Just pick it up a little and just go under that stitch. Pull your needle through. So from outside to inside, and then back out at the next one.
Sandy said this looks like fun. And Lucy
It
said
is fun.
signatures or 8 folios per signature.
I'm doing 3 folios per signature, and I'm doing 8 signatures for these particular, I'm just going to call them books or bundles or what have you. And then down, right? And then back up. Oops. Make sure you have your needle through far enough. Right? And then, and these are going to be loose. Don't worry about it yet. We're going to get tension on them here in a minute. See, there's that. So you just go under. And then, oh my word, in, right? From outside to inside. And then inside to outside. Right? And it's loose and it's sloppy. See, it's loose, not even, but we're going to fix that right now. And we're going to secure things. So I just pull both. So this is the thread. This is the one, right? Like this was my end for my first row. This is the one I just ended with. And I just grab them together and just pull them down. So this is my top edge. I always keep the top edge here and the bottom edge here. So that way I can always keep tension going the same way. But just pull taut. You're not trying to rip it or like, we're not trying to survive a hurricane here. And then just, and another thing, and this just takes practice, right? You want them snug against the spine, but you don't want to, I don't want to sandwich them together tight like this because I'm taking out all the wiggle room. If I was just binding an actual book, just a book of printed pages that I wanted to read, I would want them sitting as close together as possible. These, I know we're going to put things in there, so I'm trying to leave a little bit of room. And these center ones are automatically going to have a little bit more space in them than the ends. The ends is where you can mess up your tension. So try to let them just rest naturally and just pull it snug. And as soon as you pull it snug, see how it changed it? Remember how it was gappy just a minute ago? Now it's not gappy. It just snugged it up and it looks pretty even all the way down. And that's what you're going for. And I just double knot this. Like this, whatever this is so waxy. These things are never going to come untied. Just saying. I've never had one come undone. And then it's really hard to keep track of where your your other end is. So you'll see me every once in a while just stop and give myself more room. But that's it, you guys. It is so repetitive from here on out. So I'm going to line this one up, and I'll put those here so you guys can, there we go. So you guys can see them. So you just, and I'm just using the table to butt the 4 edges up to, and then clip it, and then stitch. So like from out and then back, and that doesn't matter either. Like you can't get this wrong. Oh, this, I did forget. This thing will get caught all the time. So I usually just squish it in there. But then now you want to come in right there and pick up that last stitch. So I usually, if I can't see it, or because this is so waxed, a lot of times they'll gum together as you're pulling your tension. So just go in between your 2 signatures with your needle, right? And just lift it up, and it'll just automatically pick up that last one. So then you just pull it away from you, right? And then down.
That's
and
so
then back
cool.
out. But see, it's just not time consuming. I don't think it's any more time consuming than a conventional 5-hole pamphlet or a 7-hole pamphlet. And then back down. And then back out. And I'm just pulling tension on it, just till it feels firm in my hand. And then back under, right? And just pick up your last stitch. So I'll just show you. So under and just lift it up. And then down. And then back out. And the other thing I like about having it in my hand is I usually don't get caught on things because I can guide that thread with my fingers. I did forget to put, it will get caught on that though. And then just pick it up. Last one, right? So just down, under. But that's all you're doing is just, and you can see it instantly pull that thread. I should have used a color thread. I didn't even think about that. It would have made life so much easier instead of something that blended in so easy.
Leah said, wow, Patty, thank you. My fear of this has lessened quite a bit.
Good. It isn't. Yeah. Do not be afraid of this, you guys. It is so, I love doing this. It's so relaxing. So then again, right, I don't want to put a ton of pressure on that. So I just went under. So this first thing, you always want to go to the next, the previous set of signatures and just go under and pull a loop, right? Pull a loop and then go in. You're not tying a knot. It's think more like it's just a really loose catch for it. And again, you just want enough tension to pull it in equally. You don't want, because it's so easy to get these 2 last ones really tight and then see how these want to bow out and these are super tight. That's what I'm trying not to do. And that just literally takes some practice. But I mean, by 2 or 3, you guys will have it. It's really that simple. So here, look, we're already on the 4th one.
Wow.
And that's even with all the chitter chatter and all the things.
Right.
So we're on the outside, right? So go from the outside to the inside. And then back out. Okay, so then back out. Just pull it the same way you're sewing. And then from this side, right, here's our set that we just did. So you want to pick up that stitch from the last one, and then down, and then back out.
Debbie C thinks this is worse than fussy cutting, LOL.
No, it is not. I could do this almost with my eyes closed. So see there, just super simple, just in between, up. Tell you what, Debbie, I'll send you my fussy cutting. You send me your signatures. We'll trade. And see, then it just feeds itself right where it's supposed to be. But see how quickly it starts to have that linking?
Yeah, it looks really nice.
And that design, like it happens so fast. It's almost magical. Right, so in between the last two and lift it up, right? Go through, go down, come back out. And then just pull it exactly the way you're stitching. Okay, and then down, catch that, come back through, down, and out. And this is so forgiving. Like if you don't get it perfectly lined up and they're a little bit out of sync when you're stitching them, it's no big deal because you can fix it right here before you snug everything up. So lay it down, pull your tension, and then I hold it like in the middle back here, like is where I hold it. And then I come in and I slide my needle in between those, not the one I just stitched, here. Now, this is the one I just stitched, and this is the last one we just secured. So you always go back one set to pull your needle through for the knot. Okay. So like I said, this is where you can straighten it up. You can still move them around from left to right. You know what I mean? You can do all of your adjusting before you tie that knot. So I just pull it on the tension side, right? Get my knot ready, slide my needle through, and just snug it. I don't want it tight. I just want to snug it. And it looks like I need to add more length, or I'll be stitching my end in, and that's no fun. Clip it. There we go. Outside. There we go. And I don't care that this is loose because it'll get tighter and tighter as I keep pulling tension as we move down. Right, and then out. And because it's waxed, it'll sort of start to grab and start doing half of the work for you. And right there. And if you mess up and grab the wrong stitch, do not undo everything. It will be fine. It may not look perfect, but if you're enclosing it in a spine anyway, it's not going to matter, and it will still function just the same. The only time it's going to matter is if you're using accent threads and you're using it as part of your design feature. So here we go, in between these two. So see where it's going to come out in between those two. So just pull your tension. And then just snug it up. But I would recommend the binder clip if you're going to hold it in your hand. If you're not going to hold, if you're going to do everything with it laying flat, you won't need this. It just is, I can't get comfortable, and I don't know. I like it better in my hand. It feels very awkward to me to just have it laying, but I'm also not sewing, good gravy, 400 2-page signatures together. And if you catch it on your clip, you'll know immediately, because all of a sudden it acts like there's a big knot in it.
Assuming you can use any type of paper and maybe even different size in the width part.
Oh yeah, once you do these, you guys, the sky is the limit. There are zero limitations on this. Zero. I really thought about using 8.5 by 11-inch pages folded in half to show you guys, but they are slightly more tedious and cumbersome and would be harder for me to hold and get close and show and all of that sort of stuff. So I just decided to stick with these. I just wish I had thought to use like black thread or something so you guys could see it better. But of course, that didn't occur to me. And but see how monotonous it gets? But it's so quick. If you've got a movie or YouTube videos you need to catch up on or something, and you want to sew a bunch of these, or you want to make a really fat book, like, it just goes so fast. See the putting it down, just but I want to do it this way so you guys can see it, but I hold the whole thing in my hand through the whole process. Almost there, you guys. This one and one more.
Wow, that is fast.
I'm telling you, it is super fast. And it's nice because you knot it at the end, right? Like, you finish it off almost at each end. So if you are working on a big, fat, chunky journal that's going to take a couple hours to stitch, like, you could quit every time you get to, when you snug it up at the end, you could totally walk away and it's just going to sit there and wait for you. The tension is not going to relax. Like, nothing is going to undo on you. Pick up that thread. The only difference is I'm trying to keep this out here where you guys can see it instead of in my normal arm's length range. But other than that,
Hey, Lori B. She said,
hey, Lori B.
I've never seen this one before.
I love this. I absolutely love it. And especially if you want to do like an exposed signature or exposed spine, this is perfect. Because you could add beads in here. Like, there's so many things you could do. Like, it's just literally limitless if you guys get the hang of it and fall in love with it. I can't wait to see what you guys do. But like, all you girls that like your beading, I'll show you where, like, you could put a bead in between as a spacer almost in between your signatures. That would be kind of cool, actually. trying to think. That would be kind of cool. And that would give you some bulk at the spine so that your foredge would be a lot narrower, right? Like if you wanted to use it as a glue book or a scrapbook, or you like to do tons and tons of embellishing, that would give you that space for sure. So this is the last one, you guys.
Wow.
So out, and it's just as easy to finish as it was. I need a water, as it was to start. So then, like if I was going to do some beading, I might throw a couple beads on there, catch this, right? Catch that last stitch, come through. Before I went back down, I might throw a couple more little beads on there and then go back in. Maybe not catch it.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, Susan. Put that down so I had to quit catching it. Maybe throw a couple more beads on there. Catch that stitch. Go back down. Come back up. Oops, I'm going to run out. Hold on. And then catch that stitch. And back down. And you could put as many holes in here as you wanted, right? Like if you wanted more stitching on the outside than this, just make 12 holes. Then you would have 5 of these stitch sections, right? The only key is to make sure you have even numbers of holes. That's like the most critical thing. There, last stitch. Boom.
Wow.
Just that simple. And there's all your fancy little stitch links. And then just like before, just go in between the 2 previous signatures, right? Pull that loop. And I just hold it back here and let it fluff up a little bit.
Kath says she really appreciates you showing this, Patty.
Thanks. I love it. I want you guys to use it. And I don't always get my tension perfect, but I'm not going to stress out over it or lose sleep over it. But it's pretty close. It's a little, she's a little fluffy right here, but not too bad. It's pretty consistent. So then I just do, because this stuff is so heavily waxed, if I was using different thread that I was worried about not holding, I would knot it probably different, but I just do several stitch, almost like I was making a headband, except I'm just doing it on this last row of securing stitches, right?
Yeah, they're all saying thank you.
You're welcome. But see what I mean? It's easy. It's just, don't let it intimidate you, because it's super, super simple. Once you do it and you get it, you're going to be like, holy moly. But it's just that easy. That's that. And like, that's what it does. It does all kinds of cool things.
Wow.
But that's why they lay so flat. And that's the beauty of them. And as long as you're using a nice strong thread, and see, I like that little bit of spacing in there. That's just some natural expanding room, right? Or breathability, or whatever you want to call it. But it's got just a little bit of give left to it, right? It's just, I like it. I think it's super cool. I think it's versatile. So, I've only done a few, just so you guys know. So these are all sewn, right? And these are up, they're just alternated every other one. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 10 of them done. I have these left to do. Yeah, it's a great non-tutorial. I don't know. It's I don't mind teaching, but this isn't like something I discovered or I changed or anything, right? I prefer to just come on and be like super casual with you guys and just be like, so let me just show you how I do it. That's my preferred approach. So, yeah. And then I just keep going. Lucy, you're so funny. You crack me up. So, knowing, okay, so most of them I did with the numbers, right? On the foredge with the highest number to my left side. This set doesn't have that on every first signature. So I happen to know, and this is where it just is, it comes in handy to be consistent when you do things. I left all my extra spacing at the top. So I have a little more room at the top between the edge and the row of holes than I do at the bottom and the row of holes. So even if I dropped these and had to pick them back, or they got scattered on the table, I could get them back because I have a narrower space here and a wider space here. So I would always know which is top and bottom. Absolutely not, Shelley. No. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I will. Of course. Let me find some first. Hold on. Everything I'm laying my eyes on is, oh, there's some. Okay. Of course I have all the neutrals around me. Let's use this black. We'll just use that just for funsies. All right, let me put this needle back in here so it doesn't wind up in my foot. Oh, and a sharp needle is not key. These are bigger. They have a nice big eye on them, but they're not super fat. They're not like, yeah, some of them, they're super fat, but that one has a good size eye on it without being super wide. And this is not an incredibly sharp. It's just sharp enough to go through, but it's not blunt either. So there's 1, 2, 3. That could be a problem. One moment. There's a, see, there's
like a piece of extra wax or something.
It's almost like the thread. I think this, I forget what this is called, but it's like almost a layer of wound thread over a thread. I forget what that's called, but yeah, it's like it broke right there. So I think we'll start over because that's just going to shred every time I go. As I'm stitching, it's just going to shred it, right? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Hi, Tamar.
And so I guess I'm only going 9 and a little because here's a little connect where it was connected at the factory. Hey, Tamar.
Lucy said she uses tapestry needles.
Yep, that might be what these are actually, Lucy. I don't remember.
She said not sharp and therefore no blood on the paper.
There you go. I don't know if this is going to thread well or not. It'll depend on if I can get it flat enough. I might have to change. We'll see. Oh, nope, there it goes. Oh, sort of. This was not a great, I do not like this thread. Nope, don't like it. Never mind. Let's see. What else do we have? And I do decide just about that quickly. Oh, what's this? This is cording to, oh, this might work. This is cording from the jewelry section for necklaces and such. If it'll feed through the eye of the needle. Let's see. We will just see. I might have to mute so I can curse at it so that it'll feed through there. Nope, it's not going to. It will, however. All right, fine. We'll do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, there's that. And I'm going to pretend like this is embroidery floss. I'm just trying to figure out if it's 3 or 4 ply. Looks like 4, whatever.
What type of thread did you use first? Dana's asking.
The first one was faux sinew. It comes from Hobby Lobby in the leather department.
Lucy said, I still haven't found my favorite wax linen threads. I have been looking for a month.
Well, Lucy, I'd love to say that you sent them to me, but that would be a giant lie. Didn't you send me a link to there? I never did order any because I couldn't make up my mind. I put a bunch in my cart and then left it and then went back and visited and still was undecided and never did order any. That was dumb. Oh my word, this stuff is so twisty. So if you guys come back for breakfast, I'll still be over here separating this. I got to see if I got something else. This is taking forever. That was a great idea until it wasn't. Shelly, you're such a troublemaker, man. Let me see what this is. Oh, this. Why didn't I just go for this first? Or this. This was also right on top. What a dork. Okay. Here we go. Problem solved. Talk about making life harder than it needs to be. Jeez, Lou. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you guys can see how totally precise I am. Huh?
Shelly said, sorry, man.
Yeah, sure you are. Okay. All right, look. See, if I had just started here, I'd be almost done. Jeez, oh, Pete's. I need one of those stickers that says, keep it simple, stupid. Okay. All right. So from out. And you guys don't be afraid to look this up on YouTube. There's like professional people who have professional tutorials on this. I just want to get you guys started. I just want you all to want to use it. And sometimes hearing the same thing said by different people helps something click or register. And you're like, oh, okay. So
that makes sense.
It does, right? And this one I'm going to do without the book. I'm just going to do it exactly like I would do it if I was just here by myself, except I'm not sitting. Sometimes I sit, and I work a lot standing up, but this is one of the things I can actually sit and do, and it doesn't feel weird or awkward. And this is not wax. This is just raw thread. So I'm not going to pull on this and make it as taut as I did with the waxed, because this is a coarser, almost like a cord. So depending on your paper, it will start tearing your punched holes. I mean, I want it snug, but I'm not going to pull on it near like you saw me pulling on the sinew. Okay, so I came out, right? And then you're going to pick up that previous thread. You're just going to go from this side under and then down. And then come back out. And I just always pull the same way that I'm sewing, same direction. And then under and then down. And then back out. And it's going to be super loose and floppy until you get that first knot tied in there. That's just kind of normal.
What do you tie the knot after each page? Yes,
at each end you'll always
Oh,
yeah, and it's like it's knotting off, but it's like not a knot. It's almost like a slipped knot of sorts.
Okay.
Without, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more just to secure. It's like an anchor. It's like an anchor stitch. And then just snug it up. But see how it instantly just snugs everything? And then again, I just hold it over here. I'm not putting any pressure over here at the fold. I can't pick it up without my nails. I'm so used to having them. I feel like somebody cut all my fingertips off. For Pete's sakes, it's just a knot. There we go. There. So you'd actually tie a double knot in this first set. And then I take this thread. This one may not stay since it's not waxed. I don't know if it'll stay down in there or not. And I just kind of coax it in between those two signatures so that hopefully it'll stay out of the way and not get all caught up in everything. And then I just clip, right? And then from outside to in, you always start on the outside and go to the inside. Always, always, always an even number of holes. So you come out. Snug that up. And it's gonna shoot loose again right away because there's nothing holding tension on it, right? So then pick up that last stitch. So just go in between your two signatures, pick up that stitch, go under it, go in, come out, snug it up, pick up that last stitch, go in, come out, snug it up. Pick up that last stitch, go in, maybe go in, come out, and snug it up. pick up that last stitch, go in, come out, and then it just repeats. And then in between the two previous signatures, right, with your needle.
Lucy said, Patty makes everything look so easy. I could watch for hours.
You crack me up. You could do this. Have you seen some of the fancy schmancy things she does? She just kills me.
Yep.
Talk about humble pie over there. Holy moly. Just pull on your tension. There's your loop. And keep your tension away from the fold, right? Away from your spine edge. And then just gently snug this up. The goal is to try to have the same spaces between your signatures here as you have in the middle and as you have down here. I'm not always successful. Do not drive yourself crazy. It's not like quilting where you got to rip it out and start all over. It's not that. It's just some pages we're sewing together. That's all it is. It's paper and thread, man. That's it. I promise you the journal police have never knocked on my door, ever. And I don't follow the rules, ever.
Who wants to follow rules?
Not me, for sure. Like, it almost delights me. I am literally the person, if I want to know what the rules are, don't get me wrong. I do want to know the rules, but that's only so that I know how far I can push before I get in trouble. I am literally that way. My mother was so thrilled. It amused my dad, and he could predict, but he was much the same way. But my mother saw zero humor in it ever. And then just snug it up. But see, like instantly you start to see the decorativeness of the stitching, right?
You do. You really do.
And we're only on the fourth one. And it's like, it's crazy. Like this is the fourth signature already. And it looks a little bit like I have a mess over here. And it may not up, but it probably won't. Nope, it didn't. But see, like it just looks like you've got it all wrong. And then it just starts to come together. See this one, I didn't do what I always do. Pull my tension on the way out. So I'll catch it on the next one. So there we go. Just like that. I will say, if you guys have wax and can wax your thread, it really is the best way to learn. You'll have better luck keeping consistent tension, and I think you'll wind up with a nicer product. Your first one out of the box. So if you have the opportunity to wax your thread, do that. Because I thought about grabbing my block of wax and waxing this one, but I just wanted to do one unwaxed so you guys can see it. It'll be a little less consistent. See how I'm just holding tension here?
Mir said you're a rebel.
What?
Mir said you're a rebel.
Girl, you have no idea. All right, so there's that. So now we're on to the fifth one. And then out. But now you guys can probably see where I was talking about the beading, where you could do the beading. Like, I just think there's so many things that could be done. And you could even change your thread color at every, once you go all the way up and then come back down, right? You could totally change your colors because you're not off anyway. So what difference would it make? Oh, I was supposed to pull that tight. Trying to be consistent for you guys. But see, look, see how, so if you did like a 2-inch book block or text block, it would be so pretty. So pretty.
What do you mean text block?
A text block is your pages that go inside the covers.
Oh, okay.
And then between your two previous, right? One moment. There we go. Pull that tension. And if you have trouble, like if you don't have wax and you're not waxing, put your finger on this last set of stitches to hold that tension after you pull it taut. That's all it takes. And then you can hold that while you're knotting this, right? And then that's all you got to do. Don't think that you don't have what you need. You literally need like 6 things. You need paper, you need thread, you need a needle, you need something to poke holes. Depending on your needle, you can use that to poke the holes. If you don't have an awl, you don't have an ice pick, you don't have a pokey tool, use your needle. It'll work. And it doesn't have to be fancy thread. If you're using thread and you think it's too thin, if you're just using like regular sewing machine thread, just use 2 thicknesses, right? Instead of just using 1 thread, just use 2. All this is to me, like, don't anybody laugh, but anybody that, well, you can laugh, I don't care. Anybody that does any kind of embroidery or hand sewing, you all know what a running stitch is. Or like if you're just doing a quick hem and you don't care, it's just a running stitch, right? This is a running stitch with a side step. That's all it is. You're just stepping over and grabbing that last stitch and then going right back in. Like it's literally just a running stitch with a side step. That's it.
Hi, Sherry.
Hey, Sherry. And then you pick up that last stitch. And then back out. And then just pull that tension tight.
Hey, Louise.
Hey, Louise. And if you need it, you can also see how I'm just kind of holding everything. I'm holding the tension of the running stitch, right? I'm kind of bending it with this finger, but I'm holding the tension here. And it pops a little gap in here. It makes it a little wider than the other ones. But I can use that to pull so I can visually see how tight I want it to be. And that's about where I want it. So like there's no right or wrong way to do this. Literally, I'm trying to do everything that I've tried, all the different, like, oh, maybe I don't like to do it that way. Like all the things that I used to do that I don't do, that I've changed my mind on, or different little things that I've just realized I do differently without doing it intentionally. Trying to think of all of those things for you guys at this point. So you always go, every first stitch is from the outside in, so in and out. And then you always pick up that last stitch and go back in and out. And I always kind of feel like my tension is good if I can slide my needle in there and it doesn't fall out. If it holds the needle, I feel like I've got the tension I want. And out. Under. In. And out. Pick up that stitch. In. And out. And see, just like that, another signature is in. Boom. What was that, 2 minutes?
Just about, I think anyway.
Right? And see, I'm doing this one just about the same, but just depends on which end of the, I don't like to flip the book around. I like to keep the top on the left and the bottom on the right. It's just how my little brain works. And it keeps me, because I'm usually multitasking. So it keeps me from losing track of what I'm doing. But this is legit how I do it when I'm here on my own. I hold it in my hand the entire time. I set it down to put the next signature on, and then I just hang on to it till it's all stitched in. And when I'm clipping all the previous signatures and the, I don't know, the whatever side rests against the next signature. I clip all that together. But then I can have this to move about so I can get it in, get the needle in and out with the least amount of moving things about. And out. Just remember to always pull your tension the same way that you're stitching. So if you're going from left to right, pull from left to right. That way you won't tear where you've punched your holes. Because there's nothing more frustrating than being all the way done and grab it and go, and it'll tear your stitches back. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because I have so done it. Oh my word. And the vocabulary is fluent, man. Fluent. Sheepers. Ugh, come back here, you. And then under. And then in. And then out. It took me longer to figure out which thread to use, guys, and get ready to stitch this than it did to stitch it. Did anybody catch that? And then just snug it up. I'm going to hold my tension. Maybe. There. And then I'm just going to go in here and make some extra stitches. And I'm going to go, ooh, I'm going to try not to make a knot. This is not the time for a knot. Thank you very much.
Hi, Lisa. There's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. So this is the second one. You'll have to go back. But I did it twice. Once with the natural sinew and then this dark one. This dark thread so you guys can see it. So I'm just going to walk this stitch back and I'll show you I'm going to do this once more. And I'm just going in between the signatures, right?
Yep, she's going to save the video.
There you go. It's super easy to follow. Well, I don't know if it's easy to follow. It's super easy to do. So then I'm going to unclip all of this. I'm going to pull out the one that I hid from myself from when I started. And I'm just going to maybe knock these together in a nice little double knot. This is one reason I prefer waxed thread. I do feel like the knots, especially if you've got a good amount of wax on there, the knots hold, I think, and don't ever come loose. But I mean, a little dab of glue would keep this from coming undone too. So it's not like it's some big fat strenuous thing. So yeah, there's that one. And there's your stitches.
Wow, look, I love the darker thread. You can see it so much better.
Yep. So yeah. So that's that. Telling you, man, they're easy, 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 easy. And they take like
what's the weight of that paper, Leslie? Hey, Leslie. She's asking what the weight of the paper is.
It's probably like a 24-pound. It's a lightweight ledger paper, but it's not like heavy duty ledger at all. You could do this with anything, you guys. Absolutely anything, I promise you. If there's one thing that those of you that have been around a while know, I'm not going to lie to you. You guys, please do not make, you guys can laugh. You can totally laugh. I'm cool with that. Just, don't think I've lost my marbles. I have a few pages. I have some paper ready to make signatures and things out of.
Oh my God. I just looked up.
I do weird things to occupy myself. I can't help it. I like things prepped. Because when an idea strikes, I like to be able to just do it. I don't want to have to gather the paper and fold the paper and figure out a size. If an idea crosses my mind, I just want to have a place to go to grab things to do it. But I'm going to do some with all of these papers. So some of these are heavier. Some are really light dictionary weight papers. Some are the ones that I've printed. All different weights of paper. So, and I'm not worried about it.
Holy moly.
Thanks, Mare. So yeah, I'm gonna try these on these different weights of paper. I want to finish up. I think I have 5 or 6 more of these to stitch that I told you guys I would get stitched up for you. And I promised Maggie a couple of these, so I have to get them ready for her. Mags, I don't remember. Do you want the spine exposed?
Yes, please.
Do you want me to put covers on them, or do you want to do your own covers?
Could you put like a neutral cover on?
If I do them for you, I will probably just do chipboard, because what I'll do.
That's
okay.
perfect.
So then, all right. So but I want to have this conversation with them, not because I want them to know that I'm doing it for you, but because they will also know that it's an option. If you want this as an exposed spine, right? You're just going to come in with your piece of chipboard, and you're just going to snug it up to the edge and glue this. This is now your end paper. This first page is your end paper. And then however wide you want the book, you can come in, you can cover this. And then, you do the back one the same way. So you just have all this flexibility in this with this open spine.
Please stitch enough so that I can get a couple this time. I missed out last night.
I think there's going to be maybe 18 of them, I think. So we'll try to get at least one to everybody. And you guys asked for offcuts and things so that you guys could use the offcuts for these. So here's a perfect example. See the stitching? Oops, my knots and my knots. See how I was talking about I always do the shorter distance from stitching to edge at the bottom. So I can instantly tell that I have that one upside down. So if you have your paper oriented at a top and a bottom, that would be important. So just try to be consistent like that, because you could put two of these in a journal, right? Like how Mare was asking last night. I was like, I don't know about that. But then I was like, yeah, why couldn't you put both of them in there and put your, I don't know that I would do it as an exposed spine that way. But like if you were doing like repurposing a spine, but you didn't want to stitch a great big fat one, you just wanted to put these together, I would just stitch these two facing, glue these two facing pages together, and then glue this one and this one. But then you would have all of this as your text block. Hey, Jane. Yeah, you'll like it. It's super simple. It really is very, very easy, I promise. Once you guys do the first one and get like all the, what did she do? And the stop and the start and all that jazz, you guys will be knocking it right out. What are you doing over there, Megs?
I'm doing a journal cover.
Let's go see. Oh, look at that.
I'm
so
in love with these image prints, Patty. I can't stop using them.
I was just, I was like, is that mine? I don't remember if that's mine.
It is yours.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty bad when you're like, is that mine? Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Ah, that's funny. I'm such a dork sometimes.
Who, me?
Yeah, who, you?
Who, me?
That is so pretty.
Overboard.
What is it with, I think it's her auburn hair that makes that green look so pretty.
Her hair is like strawberry blonde.
Right?
And that's what makes the green pop. Wait a minute, I'll bring it up closer.
I swear that cluster of on the right side above the green, right where your thumb is, that looks like, it looks like the same flowers in her hair. That's crazy, Maggie.
That's from this. I've been fussy cutting some of this applique here.
So pretty.
See, you can see the right there. And I have green too, but I wanted to use both colors, so I didn't use the green.
Gotcha. My gosh, we're just going to watch. I'm going to get coffee and we're going to watch you do pretty things.
Oh God. It's almost done. It might even be done. I just want to try something first. But I don't think I'm going to like this. Although, what do you think, guys? Too much? Is that too much up there?
I don't think so.
No.
You know how I always judge? I take it away. I put it on there, and if I'm like, I like it, but I'm not sure.
That's what I do, like that. See?
Yeah, see, I miss it when it's that. I'm like, yeah, it looks empty now.
Pretty sure I asked you, Maggie, where you get your trims.
She gets
not Etsy. I get them from Crafty Me Shop. It's a Facebook group.
Yep.
You have to be in the group to buy. Hey, Wendy. Thank you. Thanks, Jody. And
Jane says your ring matches. Maybe you should put your ring on there, Mags.
What's that?
Jane says that your ring matches too.
My ring? Oh.
Matches.
Yeah.
I love it when they catch your jewelry. That just delights me. Maggie's always been a little bit of a bling bling ring girl.
Yeah, I'm bling bling no matter what, whether it's jewelry or putting something on a journal cover or whatever. So it was either using that might just not be like but I don't.
What would happen if you
wanna
put one of
use-
your cream
I
color
don't want
ones
to
into
use. I don't know. Let me cut this off and see what one of these looks like with it in the corner, because nobody answered me except for you. You answered me like that. What do you think? That's too much? Too much. Yeah, no, doesn't look
maybe.
right. It's almost like it just, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't want
almost
to
like
look like I just stuck crap down, you know? So I put a little one in the corner here. And are you laughing?
You, me, and Mare, we all do it. We all call our stuff crap. I just think it's
Oh,
hilarious. I don't want to just stick crap on there. It just cracks me
right.
up.
No, I think it's probably better. I said I liked it up there, Shelley. Don't yell at me. So I'm not, now I'm chopped liver again. You're not chopped liver. I just
Do me a
didn't see
favor,
it.
put the green leaves back up there and put one of the other color flowers with it. The
Oh,
smaller
okay. Wait a
one.
minute. All
The
right.
smaller one.
Of this color, you mean?
Yeah. Do you have a
Um, well, wait a minute.
because I feel like you have both colors at the bottom. Maybe it needs both colors at the top.
Yeah, you could be right. Let me cut this one because I'm going to take this off. I don't like this. It's too cheesy.
Yep. If I wind up being right, you guys, somebody write it on the calendar, please.
Hold on. Let's see. Get this off of here. Luckily, this is one of the ones where I don't have to
Glue it.
glue it in the back. Yeah. They're put on with
The first time I ever heard anybody say that you had to glue the threads that stitched, like they used to stitch sequins and beads and all that stuff on, was from Maggie. And I was like, a pure genius light bulb moment. Like, I was like, why does nobody else ever tell you these things? Why?
Well, I mean, some of them, if you don't, you're going to lose all your
Oh my gosh,
whether
everything.
beads or sequins or
Yeah. Like if
know.
I'd have known that when I very first started taking bridal dresses apart to get the lace off of them, do you realize how many sequins and beads and things I would not have had to have vacuumed up and cussed at for falling off? Like, cheapers.
Okay.
Never one time did it occur to me that maybe I should glue it from the backside. Glue the thread.
Okay, here's.
I don't know. I think I might have liked the all green better. I think it should just be green.
She's doing surgery. Sometimes I feel like it, especially when I'm fussy cutting some of these appliques.
The green is way better. The brown one just looks like you stuck crap on there.
Yeah. But which one though? The smaller one?
I like the smaller one, but they may
like that.
But some people are going to like the bigger one. I think it's going to depend on what you like.
Middle, all green. Shelley's saying all green.
They're all voting all green.
Middle.
I like the all green too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do it. If I don't like it tomorrow, I can always take them off.
Jody's yelling at you. She wants to be the favorite. She likes the big green one.
The big green one? Okay, let me try that again.
Lisa likes the big. Shelley likes the small. Louise likes the small.
Okay, there's the bigger one. Like that.
Yeah, exactly, Jane. I'm very much like that too. Whatever hits the floor is staying there unless I love it. What about
the large green with one leaf? So like, you know what I think is throwing it off?
What if you push it in
the green is? You always want to do everything in an odd number, right? So I have 3 of the green down here.
Yep.
If I put one up here, it makes it 4, and that's why it's not looking right to me. Do you know what I mean?
I sure do. So maybe it needs to trail. Hey, Debbie Ups. Maybe it
Hi,
needs
Debbie.
to
She's saying
um
big green too.
maybe it needs to trail in, or maybe on the other corner. It doesn't have to be
Oh,
on that outside
on this
corner.
side?
Yeah,
Yeah, let me just, I get it. This is a narrower
yeah.
cover, so I want to make sure it would be,
You could bring it in on that whole corner of the frame though.
you mean like that?
Yeah.
Maybe it needs nothing in the upper corners, Becca said.
Maybe. But you could always use your cream color and trail it down from that side toward the bottom, you know what I mean? And sprinkle and then put like a little green one down toward the bottom. That would give you your odd number back. I don't know how lacy you want it to look. It's going to start looking pretty bulky pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see.
I do like the opposite corner though.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah. Oh, there's your green. I do like that.
You do?
Yeah, I don't dislike that at all. And you could maybe even stick your leaf on the other side. And I don't even notice that it's this even
There you go.
numbers. But it's really not even numbers because you have small ones at the bottom.
Right. Connect. No, you just be adding crap to it. Oh my God, I love you, Becca. I really do.
That's funny.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Leave it till morning and see what you think. You might decide you want the cream under it instead of the green. The green.
Oh, you mean this here?
Yeah, the berries. You may decide by morning. You may decide that's more green than you want on it.
Wait a minute. Let me open
You
this
know what
up.
happens when you start asking for audience participation? Everybody,
I know.
everybody wants
I
something
don't
different.
usually ask, but sometimes I really do want to know. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
sometimes you really want to know.
All right, hold on. Here's one it's the same as this, only this color. Let me cut this quick.
I know her stuff is always pretty, right, Jody? Like,
Let's see.
look at there, you guys. 2 samples in a row, 2 knotted tutorials in one night.
Yep, this is not a tutorial. This is definitely not a tutorial.
Hey, Patty.
There's Patty. Patty, I got your box today. Wait a minute. So, all right, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit more off of that because it's gonna interfere with the print.
Hey, Debbie Kip.
Hi, Debbie. So let's take that up. Nope. Something's going to have to stay on there. That didn't look right. All right. How does that look?
I like that too. See, but I don't know, you don't seem to want to bring it in over the edge of the frame. I would be
over the edge.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
I wouldn't care about seeing the frame so much. There you go. I like that better.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Look, I have to show you. Thank you so much, Patty. Look at what she sent me.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
I know. It's so cool. You take.
Holy moly.
And there's the tip. There's the tip. And she even filled this with glue for me.
Nice.
And that's all I have to do.
How cool is that?
I know, right?
All right, so Patty, you're going to be the favorite for the next month. So,
she's the favorite, and I'm going to send her something too.
So I'm just saying. We'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah. Isn't that
How
cool though? I've
it
never
is
seen
very
this.
cool.
And then it's got the stand for it.
Oh, so it keeps the glue down at the
Yeah.
nozzle?
Yeah,
Nice.
you put it in, whoops, you put it in like this in the
Very
stand.
cool.
All right, let me glue this down before I forget.
Jess has one too. She loves, there's a lot of girls. Lisa has one.
I've never heard of
Sherry
it.
has one. How do you guys all have this thing and we don't
I
even know that it
know.
existed? Like when they started talking about it to Maggie in the chat that night, I was like, what the heck are you guys even talking about?
I know. I've never heard of one for, for
Just
liquid
regular
glue.
glue? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucy,
What?
here's the thing. She has more prints. She'll make more. Everybody loves this. You're going to have to make a couple of these, Mags.
Oh, I'm going to.
I know you're making these for you, but you're going to have to make a couple to, share with the masses because they love this. This is a little, it's just different than the ones you typically do. You know what I mean? It just has
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's the color. Maybe you usually don't use color like this, but
This
you
is
can
going to be
tell
my
it's
next
Maggie's
one.
work.
This one here.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then I'm going to use the
Yes.
silver and
Yes.
the pink.
Yep.
That's the next one. Okay.
Yeah, don't panic, Lucy. If nobody else likes this one, I'm going to be really upset if it has to come to my house. I actually really like this cover.
See how she's good. That used to be my color hair till it turned white.
Nice.
White and gray.
Nice.
But yeah, that was my color. That's Maddie's color. Just a little bit darker, my granddaughter. Okay, I'm going to call this one finished.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
All right, you guys. So look, I said I was done. I cleaned up.
Hi, Amy.
All done. Right? You're a less is more. I know. I'm that way sometimes. It just depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah. For me, more is
more.
More is, yeah, but I like more.
Yeah, I know. More is better.
I do tend to like over. Oh, yep. Good night, Mayor.
So
thanks, Debbie.
Thanks for joining me, Mags.
Hey, anytime.
Mayor, get some rest. Yeah. Yep. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys. I really want to see you guys practice that and tell me. Everybody try one over the weekend. Oh my gosh, I was making shadow puppets.
Oh, thanks for letting them know, Shelley. She put in where you can get that glue gun.
Oh, nice. Thank you. But yeah, I really would love to see some pictures or come back Monday night and let us know that you made one. But yeah, everybody have a good, safe weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday.
Good night, everyone.